The life of Billy Bob Thornton begins far away from the glamour of Hollywood. He was born in Hot Springs, Arkansas, on August 4, 1955. He would ultimately start to get modest acting parts and grow into one of Hollywood's most well-known figures. 5 separate marriages, including the most contentious one with Angelina Jolie, came along the way. However, we must first learn some background information before we can discuss the reasons for the well-known couple's breakup. Billy has long been known for his unadulterated skill, eccentric personality, and, of course, the connections that kept Hollywood buzzing. Thornton's love life has been scrutinized constantly due to the fact that he has been married 6 times. However, when both were at the top of their careers, one union in particular, his whirlwind relationship with Angelina Jolie, attracted the most attention. The media was captivated by their unexpected wedding, but it all fell apart after just 3 years. After several seasons, Billy Bob is now at last disclosing the true reason for his breakup with Angelina. Come along with us as we unravel Thornton's personal life and reveal the truth about what transpired. There are early struggles and humble beginnings. The future star landed in Hot Springs, Arkansas, on August 4, 1955. He came from modest origins in a small cabin without electricity or plumbing, which gave him resiliency and a strong sense of ambition. He even tried out for the Kansas City Royals in the hopes of achieving more success. However, a serious injury dashed that hope and made him reconsider his course. Even though baseball's gate had closed too quickly, the grit from that tiny hut later drove every daring move he took, leading him to acting, writing, and long-lasting renown. But as he began playing bigger parts in Hollywood, things would soon alter for him. More than 5 troubled marriages followed, all of which had a lasting impact on his connection with Aunt Angelina Jolie, which ended in tragedy. Melissa Lee Gatlin is the first character in Thornton's convoluted love story. The young actor's first marriage was to Melissa in 1978. Although there aren't many public details about their lives together, this union set the stage for a turbulent romance. With the birth of Amanda, a baby girl, in June 1979, Thornton experienced fatherhood for the first time. Sadly, marital happiness was short-lived. Melissa filed for divorce in 1980, citing suspected infidelity and incompatibility. Due to the separation, Amanda spent much of her childhood with her mother, far from her well-known father. Tragedy reappeared years later. After a friend's 1-year-old daughter passed away while in Amanda's care in 2008, Amanda was charged. Judges imposed a 20-year sentence that made news. The Innocence Project supported attorneys put up a fierce fight, claiming it was an accident. After further information came to light, Amanda was eventually released and reintegrated into society outside of prison in 2020. Thornton hardly ever discusses the traumatic period in his family's past in public. Thornton quickly fell in love with actress Toni Lawrence after splitting from Melissa. In 1986, the couple exchanges vows, registering their second marriage. Toni, known to cult moviegoers from Soul Survivor and Daddy's Deadly Darling, appeared to be a perfect fit for the up-and-coming storyteller. However, Hollywood fantasies were not as brutal as domestic reality. Tension was created by misaligned career cycles and the absence of children. Divorce petitions stating irreconcilable differences appeared within 2 short years. Years later, Toni described Billy Bob as intelligent but tormented, with sleepless evenings spent trying to control his volatile temperament. Far from the red carpet craze, she remarried, moved to Los Angeles, and worked as a studio potter, shaping porcelain. Thornton learned that a marriage based on uneven footing cannot be stabilized by talent alone, even though their relationship was short-lived yet had lasting effects. Even Thornton acknowledged that the relationship had been hurried and motivated more by chemistry than by genuine, thoughtful compatibility. Actress Cinda Williams, whom Thornton met while filming the Corritton script for the taut thriller One False Move, was his partner for his 3rd wedding. Williams, who was born in Chicago, had already gained recognition for his role in Spike Lee's Mo Better Blues, and they got along well on set. True romance, however, hardly existed. Later, Thornton joked that they were friends who had accidentally stumbled into a wedding chapel. Despite acknowledging there was little spark, they divorced peacefully in 1992 after getting married in 1990. After being married to producer Roderick Plummer, Williams now posts happy family photos to the internet. Evidence that both proceed amicably. In contrast, Thornton immediately entered a more difficult phase. He and Playboy model Pietro Don Cherniak exchanged vows in 1993, but their relationship was quickly tainted by violent allegations and court-ordered limits. He would endure years of intense media attention, demonstrating how quickly Hollywood's gossip machine can turn love into controversy and leave a lasting impact on a celebrity's personal life. The most turbulent of Thornton's 4 marriages was to Playboy model Pietro Don Cherniak. After getting married in 1993, they had 2 boys, William and Harry, shortly after. Photos of the attractive family, who were born just 11 months apart, looked perfect, but stress simmered behind closed doors. Cherniak said Thornton had shoved, punched, and slapped her, often in front of the kids, and filed for divorce and a restraining order in 1997. According to court documents, there were bruises and nights spent hiding in restrooms. Every claim was consumed by reporters, who splattered headlines throughout entertainment sections. In a statement, Thornton denied all of the charges. He admitted that our marriage was far from ideal. However, I never acted in the manner she described. He conveyed his sincere concern for the boys, believing that they would be most traumatized by public mudslinging. Whether true or not, the accusations persisted, damaging his reputation and providing fodder for the tabloids that already followed the actor around at all times. Escalating conflict in what looked to be forever fairytale domesticity. Billy Bob and Angelina Jolie's 6th and most notorious marriage took place. It was a romance that no one saw coming but that everyone spoke about nonstop. Both were attached elsewhere when they met on the 1999 aviation comedy Hushington. Actress Laura Dern and Thornton shared a house and aspirations for the future. Jolie and Johnny Lee Miller had just finalized their divorce. Still, chemistry exploded. Thornton packed his bags, abruptly left Dern, and plunged headfirst into Jolie's orbit almost overnight. The couple eloped in Las Vegas in May 2000, just a few months after they first met. The event was remarkably informal. Jolie issued the opulent Hollywood accessories, donned jeans, and wore her hair back. The tabloids were shocked by the low-key wedding, especially Dern, who subsequently said she came back from a photo session to discover her fiancé married. When reporters saw the couple wearing vials of each other's blood as necklaces, a macabre sign that encapsulated their intense, unorthodox passion, public interest only grew. Although Thornton and Jolie may have appeared strange to onlookers, they were fiercely dedicated to one another behind the scenes. They purchased the expansive Beverly Hills residence, which had formerly belonged to guitarist Slash of Guns N' Roses, after only a few weeks of house hunting. A maze of 9 bedrooms with a recording studio, a pool lighted by candles, and walls thick enough to block out nocturnal guitar sounds. The pair barely unpacked, though. After spending a month on location in Canada, they quickly traveled to Europe for glitzy photo shoots after shaking hands at refugee camps. Nothing, not even a rock star's house, could hold them down, as evidenced by the fact that their Rolling Stone schedule converted the mansion into an extremely costly storage unit. Their chemistry in public was even more erratic. Flashbulbs captured them hugging, whispering, and kissing so passionately that they ruined each other's makeup on the red carpet for the June 2000 premiere of Gone in 60 Seconds. Bodyguards made room, porters gasped, and the media went into overdrive. An MTV host later that evening asked them what they had done that day that was the most bizarre. Anticipating a mild response. During the ride over, Thornton merely chuckled and said, "They did it in the limo," describing the little back seat as though it were the honeymoon suite. From Los Angeles to London, one spontaneous revelation made headlines. The whispers became legends. The pair changed undergarments for fun, according to friends. They lit entire constellations of candles during nocturnal ceremonies, and the mansion concealed a soundproof love cave that was cushioned from wall to wall. Thornton felt compelled to correct certain rumors. He acknowledged that he had once worn Angelina's red silk underwear to the gym as he didn't have any clean shorts, but it was an isolated incident rather than a regular occurrence. The facts were irrelevant now. Their continuous PDA and vial of blood necklaces had cemented their notoriety by December. The world cannot ignore it. It is a combination of a startling spectacle and unadulterated devotion. When news agencies reported in July 2001 that the newlyweds were wearing lockets containing little drops of each other's blood, the panic reached a pinnacle. Photos of them strutting Sunset Boulevard with jars of red fluid hanging from chains being circulated on gossip sites. They simply pierced their fingers, dabbed a charm, and snapped it shut, according to Thornton, who later corrected the report. Nothing horrible. However, the myth simply served to highlight how strong, unusual, and fierce their love was compared to any Hollywood romance to date. The couple intended to use adoption to grow their family by March 2002. Jolie filed documents naming herself and Thornton as the parents of 7-month-old Maddox, a Cambodian orphan, after falling in love with him. Plans, however, changed rapidly as their partnership deteriorated. Where was Billy Bob standing? The press asked. Jolie said that he had changed his mind and that she would complete the adoption as a single mother rather than by herself. While filming Bad Santa in 2002, Thornton met makeup effects artist Connie Anglin for the first time, but they decided to be patient instead of rash. Although their attraction began early, they dated covertly for a whole 12 years since they both remembered how his union with Jolie was stung by the intense attention. Almost little was photographed by paparazzi, and she was seldom ever mentioned in interviews. In 2008, Thornton even admitted to Maxine that he didn't want to make Anglin the sixth wife due of the constant barrage of press stories. They finally decided that privacy was more essential than delaying, and in October 2014, they had a little ceremony in their front yard in Los Angeles. Vows were only observed by a preacher, a few family members, and a few pets. No designer flair, no red carpet flurry, simply sincere pledges made under dubious guises. This small backyard wedding was a significant shift for a guy who had previously displayed his emotions with blood vials, demonstrating that calm, not spectacle, had taken precedence over spectacle as the compass for his romantic voyage that gentle afternoon. He claims that the harmony of their temperaments is what keeps England in Thornton's stable. Connie's serenity is a welcome change after the hectic, joyous time. He chuckled in a 2016 GQ chat, "Connie's more my speed." Billy Bob, a self-described homebody who feels uncomfortable around socialites, is grateful that Connie enjoys peaceful evenings as much as he does. More family time is required because their daughter, Bella, has been homeschooled since kindergarten. In her professional life, Anglin continues to create effects and makeup for popular films like Men in Black and Planet of the Apes, but she avoids the spotlight of the red carpet. Thornton frequently expresses gratitude to her for accepting his eccentricity. Connie was happy to tinker at home while Jolie flew to summit talks. He once made a joke about their home having a recording studio so he could record without ever leaving. He gave Connie credit on Jimmy Kimmel Live for that addition. Evidence that, following previous headline-heavy nuptials, their existence is centered around little comforts and a softer rhythm that he greatly loves. Beyond their mutual silence, Thornton's everyday routine was altered by becoming a father again. In 2004, Bella came. He had to relearn kids' songs and diaper skills decades after his older children. Whether she's teaching him TikTok dances or blasting Taylor Swift, he says that Bella's fire spirit keeps him going. Bella started to wonder why her parents weren't married after they had been together for 12 years. With just their loved ones, friends, and pets present, the couple exchanged vows under their sycamore tree in 2014 after being prodded by that question. Later, Thornton told James Corden that although the ceremony lasted only a few minutes, Bella's smile lasted for days. The actor now balances schoolwork, pancake mornings, and work on television shows, films, and music. Public appearances are still uncommon. Nevertheless, in 2022, Connie did walk the red carpet for the Netflix movie The Gray Man. Fans saw serene smiles, which is evidence that Thornton's romantic life is at last stable and secure. And that was ultimately the covert heartbeat of Angelina Jolie and Billy Bob Thornton's whirlwind. Too seductive to ignore, but too ferocious to endure. Their passion flared across front pages and red carpets, became ingrained in popular culture legends, and then disappeared nearly as quickly as it had appeared. Their story continues to reverberate decades later, demonstrating how unbridled emotion can override meticulous planning, alter futures, and leave all onlookers in a state of shock. However, the narrative continues after the credits have rolled. It endures in the questions we continue to pose. What really makes a romance stand out? Is it two rebels colliding with reckless electricity? Or the silent, unwavering connection that endures long after the lights go out? Is it a crazy combination of the two? An ember for life, fire at first sight? Please share your thoughts in the comments section. The next incredible installment of Hollywood's untamed love stories will be released sooner than you could have imagined, so hit the like button, ring the notification bell, and keep an eye out.